How's it going, Crusaders? Welcome back to another sermon. Today we're checking out Jesus' second coming, part 1. We got 4 pages of notes. That's why this is broken down into a 2-part series. Part 2 will be about the same length. That's why it is broken down into 2 videos. Marcus wanted to be a part of the video today, so here we go. First thing we're going to be checking out is in the last days, and this is coming from Isaiah 2:14. This depicts a future time when the mountain of the Lord's house, which is called Zion, will be established as the highest place, driving all nations to learn God's ways. The passage introduces a vision of the Lord's house, which, as I said, is called Zion, being elevated and established as the highest point on earth, attracting all nations. These nations are depicted as flowing to Zion, searching to learn God's ways and walk in His paths. The vision include a transformation from war to peace, with nations ceasing warfare and using their weapons for agriculture. The message emphasizes the global reach of God's teachings, as all nations will come to learn from Zion. The passage also hints at a further time of the Lord's judgment, which may be part of the day of the Lord, which is mentioned in later verses. Second thing we're going to check out, the vineyard of the Lord, which is also in Isaiah. This is Isaiah 27 verses 1 through 13. This portrays a future where God will defeat His enemies and restore His people, symbolized as a flourishing vineyard. Isaiah 27:1 describes God using a hard and great, strong sword to punish Leviathan, the fleeing serpent, a symbol representing of evil or chaotic forces. This depicts God's victory over the forces of darkness at the restoration of His people. The passage then shifts to the image of a pleasant vineyard, which is Isaiah 27:2. This symbolizes God's people. God is presented as the keeper of the vineyard, actively watering and nurturing it. This suggests God's commitment to protecting and providing for His people. Isaiah 27 verses 6 through 13 outlines God's actions to purify and gather His people. This includes actions like thrashing or sorting them from scattered regions to bring them back to Jerusalem for worship. The passage also emphasizes God's desire for His people to repeat rather than destroy, highlighting His love and mercy. The passage envisions a future time where Israel will be restored from exile and their fruit will fill the world, symbolizing their flourishing and blessedness. This future is characterized by God's judgment of enemies and the ultimate triumph of His people. The next thing we're going to look at is God's coming kingdom. This is in Matthew 24 verses 1 through 25. Jesus warns His disciples about coming persecution and the destruction of the temple, while also addressing the signs of the end times. Jesus predicts the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem, highlighting the impending doom on the city. He outlines various signs, including wars, famine, earthquakes, and persecution, which will precede His return. Jesus warns about false prophets and false Christ who will deceive people, urging His followers to be discerning. He speaks of a period of inner-seed persecution, a great tribulation during which the elect will face immense suffering. Jesus emphasizes the need for His followers to be vigilant and prepared, as they will not know the exact time of his return. Same thing as Marcus. This provides instructions on how to escape the tribulation, specifically to flee the city when they see the abomination of destruction in the temple. Jesus assures his proceeding on. The proceeding instructs on how to escape the tribulation, specifically to flee the city when they see abomination of destruction in the temple. Jesus assures his followers that the sake of the elect, the tribulation will be cut short. The next thing we're going to be talking about, which is pretty much the subject of today, which is Jesus' second coming. This is Matthew 24, verses 23 through 25. This warns against false Christ and prophets who will appear during the end times, claiming to be the Messiah and performing signs to deceive people, even the elect. This all has a pattern, as you can see. Matthew 24, verses 23 through 25, Jesus tells his disciples that if anyone says, "Look, here is the Christ," or "There he is," they should not believe it. He explains that false Christs and prophets will arise and perform great signs and wonders to deceive people. Matthew 24:26, Jesus further warns that if anyone tells them, "There he is out there in the desert," they should not go out. Or if they say, "Here he is in the inner rooms," they should not believe it. Matthew 24:27, Jesus emphasizes that his coming will be as visible as lightning that flashes across the sky, visible to everyone. This passage is part of Jesus's Olivet discourages, where he answers his disciples' accusations about the end times. He describes a period of great tribulation and deception, which many claim to be the Messiah before his return. Next thing we're going to check out, which is the final thing we're going to check out, prepare for Christ's return. This is a very important thing to go over as well, prepare for Christ's return. So we're checking out Mark 13, verses 1 through 37. Jesus predicts the destruction of the temple and the end times, urging his disciples to remain vigilant and endure persecution. Jesus tells his disciples that the temple in Jerusalem will be destroyed with not one stone left on another. It actually says you won't even be able to tell that it was ever there. Jesus tells his disciples that Jesus warns of false prophets, wars, earthquakes, and other calamities, as well as the persecution of believers. Jesus foretells that Christians will be hated by all and betrayed by their own families, but those who will endure until the end will be saved. Jesus emphasizes the importance of the gospel being preached to all nations before the end comes. Jesus uses a parable of a master returning from a journey to illustrate the need for his disciples to be watchful and ready as he will return unexpectedly. Jesus states that not even he will know when he will return, only the Father knows. So that is part one of Jesus' second coming. Very eventful video nonetheless. But Crusaders, I will catch you all Monday for the Bible study, and next week will be the part 2 of this, and I believe there's only, after next week we are finishing up on the Jesus series with a video called Jesus' Suffering. So Crusaders, thank you for watching. I will catch you on Monday for the Bible study.